Yeah, so anyways, not only is this video gonna look like it's gonna sound like too, because I don't actually know what I'm doing. There's something weird about time in Call of Duty's Avalon. A lot of Call of Duty's levels actually have a weird relationship with the times and dates they're meant to be set in, but I found 2 instances of levels set in Avalon where what's going on with the time and the date and the environment kind of tells an interesting story or has interesting implications, I guess. This is just something weird that I noticed, and I'm an idiot with a camera and a microphone and a YouTube channel, and I wanted to tell somebody about it, so here I am telling you about it. I originally wasn't going to show my face in this video, but there's only so many minutes of Call of Duty footage that I can show you before it starts getting insanely repetitive and just incredibly boring, so the plan is to cut in between my face and footage, and hopefully maybe I'll put Subway Surfers around here somewhere, and that'll keep people's attention for long enough. Or maybe the idea is interesting enough. I don't know. I guess you'll see in a minute. So Avalon. Avalon was supposed to be Call of Duty's next big Warzone map, but it got scrapped for Verdansk. You don't need to know about any of that. The only thing that pertains to this conversation is that canonically Avalon is a country set south of the Kingdom of France. I got that information from a wiki. I don't know where it comes from originally. I'm trusting that that's correct. Could have been written by some rogue furry communist for all I know. Now I'm the kind of person who likes to go in and create private multiplayer matches by myself so I can just wander around and look at all the little details that you're meant to just be like whizzing by while you're out there winning your gunfights. One of those common like assets is clocks. Like there's a clock in just about every Call of Duty level. And like I know the clocks are just assets or whatever, but they're not just like all copy pasted willy-nilly all over the place, like except for the grandfather clock in Payback and Dealership. But we're gonna ignore that guy because he doesn't like to play along with the rest of the environment no matter what level he's in. But the clocks, they're set to specific times, they have different styles, all this other kind of, you know, like they're different. They're not just like the same. It's not like they just made one clock and we're like, here, boop, 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 boop. When you look at the times that those clocks are set to and you check it against, you know, where the sun is in the sky, in the level, it basically always makes sense. But there's an exception, 2 exceptions, I guess, or like 1 exception because this is like one idea. I don't fucking know. But that's in Bounty and Dealership. Bounty and Dealership take place across 2 consecutive days, beginning in the early hours of December 12th and then later in the evening hours of December 13th in 1991. I don't know why they chose those times and dates, but they did. This is even explicitly mentioned in the press release that came out when the levels dropped, and that weird little thing that multiplayer shooters do where they try to inject some sort of like narrative into the multiplayer for some reason. I don't understand why they do that. I don't think it adds anything, but whatever. I'm not a game dev. Bounty is said to take place just before sunrise on the 12th, which we can confirm in level because if you go out and you look, you see the sun just peeking up over the eastern horizon. But the clock in the level clearly reads 1:50, so like 1:50 a.m. So the sun is coming up, like sunrise is like 2 a.m. in Avalon, which is weird. Fast forward to the next day on Dealership, and this level actually has a lot of clocks in it. I think it's like 5. And again, we're ignoring the grandfather clock. All these clocks read 8:10, which we can see is meant to be PM because if you go out and you look at the sun in the sky, it is much closer to the western horizon than it is to the east. And I like it's closer, but it's not like super close. Like it's probably still got like at least another hour before the sun sets. So like just for the sake of the math that I'm gonna do here in a second, we're just gonna say that the sun sets at 9 p.m., which is like it's a late sunset, right? But it's not impossible, except for the fact that Dealership takes place in winter. And as I mentioned before, Avalon is set south of the Kingdom of France, so like think like just somewhere along like the Mediterranean coast, right? Taking Spain for an example. In Spain, in winter, the sun sets at like 6 p.m. So what am I getting at? So let's just kind of ignore the real world for a minute and just take Avalon on its own terms. I don't have to tell you that, like, you know, over the course of the year, like sunrises and sunset times, like they shift, they move around a little bit. But from day to day, they're roughly the same. So like if the sunrise is at 2 a.m. for whatever godforsaken reason, probably the day before and the day after, it's roughly the same time. So if the sun is coming up and Bounty at 2 a.m. and not going down until 9 p.m. That means that Avalon gets roughly 19 hours of daylight in winter. No wonder everybody's trying to kill each other. There's only like 5-hour long nights. Like, that's too much sun. That makes people go crazy. I'm going off script here, but I need to put this in here. So like, where is the hole in my theory here? Well, it's that on Bounty, this is the only clock I can find. So I can't actually provably 100% say that's not actually a broken clock. Like, maybe sunrise is at 6 a.m. and the clock just broke 4 hours ago. Or maybe they hung the clock up and nobody ever put batteries in it. I don't know. I don't know who these people are, but this doesn't seem like a place that would have a broken clock. It's actually a pretty nice place, even though it is like a front or whatever. It would just be unusual for there to be a broken clock in a Call of Duty level, because usually when you find clocks in the levels, they all agree with each other. Like, there's never any evidence that like the clocks are like busted, or like one clock says like 5 o'clock and another says 2. That's the whole of my theory, is that like this one clock, it could be wrong. If it's wrong, there goes my whole thesis. In my defense though, if that clock is wrong and it is like sunrise at like 6 or 7 a.m., like, still, that's about the sunrise. The sunset in dealership is still like 9 p.m. That's still a weirdly late sunset for December 13th. So what's my point? Well, you know, Call of Duty being one of the greatest and most realistic milsims of all time is constantly being, you know, held back by its need to commit to the accuracy and realism that that's a joke. That was supposed to be a joke. No, Call of Duty is FIFA with the added burden that the levels have to be places, and those places have to have things in them. It can't just be like a football pitch. But also, would it take anything away from the design of these levels if there were just, say, like no clocks? Would anybody notice? I mean, the clocks are there, so I guess I meant to look at them. They thought that setting these levels in a particular time and date added something to them. What does it really add if it breaks down under such minor scrutiny? I'm gonna shut up now before I start acting like I know what I'm talking about. What are your thoughts? Did I miss anything? Did I waste my time having these thoughts and making this video? Let me know in the comments. Is that the end of the video? Oh yeah, I guess don't forget to like and subscribe.